Hello, my name is Jay Jacobs, and today I'm going to walk you through my family's lineage. Due to reliable sources, or lack thereof, I couldn't go too terribly far back, but as far back as I could. So first we're going to start with my 7th great-grandfather, James Stapp. James Stapp was born in 1733 in Culpeper County, Virginia. He served in the Revolutionary War in the Culpeper Militia with their flags that are known as the Don't Tread on Me flag, depicting a rattlesnake, and the Liberty or Death that was on their lapels. During the Revolutionary War, James Stapp served under Major Ambrose Madison. Ambrose Madison is the brother, or was the brother, to future President James Madison. James Stapp had a daughter named Catherine Stapp, born in 1759 in Virginia as well. She married a Thomas Wisdom. During Catherine's life, she saw a new nation take shape. When she was 22 years old, the final battle of the Revolutionary War was fought at a place called Yorktown, ending with Lord Cornwallis's surrender. This would not be the final time that Catherine would see British on American soil, though. As also known as America's Second War of Independence, she also witnessed the War of 1812, where the British burned the White House. Catherine Stapp married Thomas Wisdom on 29 March 1779, while the Revolutionary War was still raging, and had a son, William Carroll Wisdom, that was born in 1785 at Kings Creek, North Carolina. William Wisdom was 18 years old when the United States bought land from the French in what is now called the Louisiana Purchase, in effect doubling the nation. During this time, westward expansion happened, in which William found himself in Arkansas. William saw the Civil War during his life, and when he died in 1870, black men received their right to vote. William Carroll Wisdom married Lucy Robertson and had a son named Jasper Wisdom, born in 1828 in Tennessee. He served in the 8th Provincial Missouri Militia during the Civil War. Part of the Union Home Guard in Missouri, the militia countered the Confederates' attempts at raiding and recruiting. The militia saw action against Shelby's raiders coming up from Arkadelphia, Arkansas, which concluded in the Battle of Marshall on 13 October 1863. In Arkansas in the later years of the Reconstruction period after the Civil War, during a tense period that resulted in the Brooks-Baxter War, where corrupt voting practices split the Republican Party. Jasper Wisdom married Rachel Emmeline Williams and had a daughter named Lucy Emmeline Williams. She was born about 1862 during the Civil War. Throughout Lucy's life, all she ever knew was war. She was born during the Civil War, the Spanish-American War happening during her life, and World War I concluded just months before her demise. During the Spanish-American War, future President Teddy Roosevelt charged San Juan Hill against the Cubans to win the day. Lucy Wisdom married George Counterman, and they had a daughter, Meadow Ann Counterman, born 30 June 1897. Meadow Ann lived in rural Arkansas, and during her life, great progressive movements happened. Arkansas became the second state in the South to ratify the 19th Amendment in 1920, which allowed the women to vote when Meadow Ann was 22 years old. Meadow Ann and her family were sharecroppers in Arkansas, and I'm told that they didn't know that a Great Depression was happening, which lasted from 1829 to March 1933. They didn't know it was happening because they were too poor anyways. Meadow Ann passed 30 March 1960. Meadow Ann Counterman married Thomas Marion Toon and had a son, Thomas Crystal Toon. Thomas Crystal Toon was born 29 May 1915 in Smithville, Oklahoma. Thomas was drafted in World War II to fight against Nazi Germany. Discharged from service, TC would never talk about his time in the military. But he did bring back a Lee Enfield Rifle No. 4 Mark I service rifle. Thomas Crystal Toon married Luella Gordon, and they had a daughter, Catherine Marie Toon. She was born 19 September 1938. During my grandmother's life, she saw the rise of the civil rights movement all the way to America's first black president. Catherine Marie Toon married Merle D. Winfield, and they had a daughter, Karen Olita Parnell, my mother. She was born 5 November 1965 in Beeville, Texas. Born during the war in Vietnam, which lasted from 1964 to 1973, Karen's father was away most of her life in early childhood, as he was deployed in southern Vietnam. Karen was also 4 years old when the first lunar landing and Neil Armstrong and his crew of Apollo 11 set foot on the moon. And I am Karen Olita Winfield's son, Jay Jacobs. She married Douglas Jacobs. I was born in 18 December 1987 in Conway, Arkansas. Throughout my life, I have seen the advent of the internet, in which technology has grown by leaps and bounds, and I have also served in the Operation Enduring Freedom, which has lasted for 13 years. And so far, that's my story, but it's continuing with my children. Thank you.